Let's see if it works. Oh, it seems to be working. Right. Right, so I need to do a bunch of things. First of all, I need to close the fucking window because my new location is kinda noisy. There we go. That leaves space to Alchi to go out. Go out, little bro. Good bird. Shit. Stripping on something. And then we got need to make the fucking link. Where is it at? Good boy. Good boy. So we gotta. You're such a good boy. You are. Good boy. So, oh, you guys can't see him. He's over here. He's on the screen. Let's put. Okay, I need the fucking link. How do I get the link for this boat? No. That's what's left of my dinner. You can't have that. I'm sorry. That's not good for you. Where the fuck do I get the link? Good boy. I need the link to post it on the Discord so that people join. Oh, maybe I found it. No. Fuck. I guess I can find it from my phone. Anyway, for the one person watching right now, welcome. We are going to watch season 1 again. And then I'll give my commentary and hear you guys' opinions and everything. I'm very excited about this. I don't know if you can tell. Hey. Come to the shoulder. Good boy. There he is. Announcements? No. Live streams. Everyone. Samuele, what's up? We're waiting for others. Good boy. Is chilling on the microphone. Already 4? Where? I only see 2 people here. Shit. Good boy. Well, yeah, I just see 1 person. I don't know where you're getting 4 of them. Kill him. Killy. Based bird. He is a very based bird. Right now is sitting on the camera. I hope it doesn't fall, make it fall, but it's a very stable camera, so hopefully. I really want to wait cuz you know the beginning is actually like Antonio Razzi. That's like what most of you are here for, you know. I feel like yeah, basically. I don't know, they must have stopped watching the stream. Yeah, maybe, who knows. Like for me, over here it says 2 concurrent streams. Viewers, I mean. One of them is you. Probably the other one is Samuele. So. Oh, here it says. Oh yeah, 3, here we go. Again, we have to wait a little bit. Good boy. There. Una giornata con Antonio Razzi. A day with Antonio Razzi. My recommendation. We got Ignazio La Russa. You know, if we actually get uh, people are more engaged with this shit, we might actually be watching. Dude, you have a bird. I do have a bird. His name is Alchi. He's a good bird. He said hi, I think. He probably does. I wish he was standing more in on my shoulder so that you're becoming a more likable person with every piece of content I see. I'm happy to I'm happy to hear that. Good Alchi, why don't you come to my shoulder? Good boy. Look at him. Good boy. In the series, let's go with an easier question. Let's go with like also, when you say favorite politician in the series, uh it's a bit tough to say because when you say Italian, you know, every politician, you know, the personal bias of like if I stand with that politician or not and stuff like that. I prefer the question, what's your favorite episode in the series? In that case, it's a bit easier for me, but I've made so many that I just don't remember all of them. If we just for now, for season 1, I have to say Vittorio, there he is. For now, you know what? I will tell you after we're done watching them again. I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah. Let's after we watch all of them again in season 1, I will tell you which one I prefer. But now scrolling through them, probably the one I'd love to redo. It's Bonafide, because as you will see, my opinion actually changed a lot since I made it. So I guess we waited long enough. How about we give it a go? So Antonio Razzi, I'm very proud of Antonio Razzi's episode, right? The problem is that I was not very experienced. So, and you can, you know, in making the video, and you can tell with the audio because I cut off in breaks a bit too much. And there are times in which, you know, the flow of the speech doesn't feel natural. But if you don't get it now, you will when you will see it. Okay, you guys ready? You guys can hear it, right? You guys can hear it. Hey guys, and welcome back. When people think about politicians here in Italy, a few things come to mind. Politicians are all talk and no action, have a massive ego, and all they care about is their image. All a politician wants is everyone to think they are working hard, while in reality they're just warming up chairs in the parliament. This is very far from an accurate representation of the majority of politicians in this country. But today we're talking about a former senator who is almost a caricature of the lazy, ignorant, and incompetent politician. I present to you Antonio Razzi. Razzi was born in Abruzzo back in 1948. When he finished high school, he moved to Switzerland to work in Emmenbrook in a textile factory. From then on, he worked his way up to manager positions and became a representative for workers' unions for Italian workers abroad. In 2006, he was elected deputy in the overseas constituency of the Italian Chamber of Deputies, which is a parliamentary group that consists of the senators and deputies voted by Italian citizens that live abroad. He was part of a centrist party, and he had a very good reputation in his first few years in politics. Only 4 years later, his true colors emerged. In 2010, Silvio Berlusconi was prime minister, and in case you didn't know, he was not exactly a role model. He was corrupt, obsessed with women, and owned around a third of the media in the country, and that's never a good combo. In 2010, the opposition decided to try and impeach him after he was accused of literally buying votes from the opposition to join his side. That's not really it. Basically, what happened is that they weren't really trying to impeach him. They were trying to make the cabinet fall. At that point, Berlusconi had lost his governmental majority, and they needed a vote of confidence. And they were afraid that they were not gonna get it. And even if they were going to get it, it was going to be very slim, which was the case. Basically, Berlusconi did buy votes in this case. Definitely with Ruzzi, he literally bought his vote. Um, this was Berlusconi's fourth cabinet from 2008 to 2011, and the last year was tough because he broke off with this other guy called Gianfranco Fini, who was part of the coalition, and when this guy broke off in the alliance, things got a little bit nasty. So Bohan says, I wonder if Italian politicians have physical fights in the parliament like they do in Britain or Ukraine. I didn't know about Britain. They don't. They're not as physical as the Ukrainian ones. The video is a bit high. I can't hear you talking. Oh. Okay, let's sort it out. All right. So I guess yeah, because I lowered my microphone because I thought, okay, out. I think that's, here we go. Now this should make it lower. They usually don't fight physically, but they get very verbal. Oh yeah, makes sense. Yeah, they get verbal here too. They don't swear, but it's heavy sometimes. I cannot think of some examples off the top of my head, but if I do, I'll make sure. Archie, shut the fuck up! I'll show you where he is. He's over there, right? He wants to be part of the conversation. Or like personal insults. Sometimes, but they're usually stopped by the president of the chamber or the senate, and because it's like against the rules. I don't think there's a figure like that in England. It's basically supposed to be like this figure that like kind of makes sure the debates are civil, basically.
Side. Antonio Razzi was originally part of the opposition, but he still voted against Berlusconi's impeachment.
That's
His
true.
vote was one of the few that determined the result,
Yep.
and Berlusconi stayed in power for years after that. Razzi's
like,
sudden betrayal surprised everyone, including Berlusconi, who was grateful and made him join his party, and made him senator in 2013. But why did he change sides? He did it for the money. Razzi knew that if Berlusconi was going to resign, a new election had to be made, and he might lose his comfy job in the Chamber of Deputies. Members of Parliament get an insane salary just to work 2 to 3 days a week.
This graph I'm showing you, it actually shows the number of members of parliament. It doesn't really say anything about payment, but I couldn't find anything to prove. I couldn't find a graph to show it. So, but trust me, Italian members of parliament, they earn a lot, especially senators.
Our parliament is the most expensive in Europe, and Razzi did not want to let this go. Razzi would soon realize that by staying on the side of Berlusconi, he would be able to stay in parliament for as long as he wants and gain a shit ton of money with minimal effort. Therefore, he made it very clear ever since he was re-elected senator that his allegiance was strictly dedicated only to Forza Italia and its leader Berlusconi. He once stated that if Berlusconi told him to jump off a bridge, he would do it. For reasons I just cannot comprehend, he also... Actually, let's turn it into a game. What do you think he did? A. He went to Cuba as an ambassador where he drank too much and challenged Fidel Castro to a dance match. B. He was sent to North Korea to see the 27th of June parades and said the streets were clean and sparkly just like in Switzerland. C. He met Obama and they talked for a few hours about foreign policy until Obama realized that he was not the prime minister. D. He adopted a kangaroo and brought him to the Senate to make a point about climate change not existing. If you chose any other option other than B, I don't blame you. One day, he just decided he wanted to go to see North Korea for himself and even met Kim Jong-un and praised him. When he was asked if he went there to represent his country, he just said no and that he just went for himself. But if Berlusconi told him what to say, he would be happy to lead the peace talks. In 2008, as the new parliamentary elections rolled in, Forza Italia didn't candidate
Assad
again
al-Bashar, man.
and so he was forced to retire from the political scene. He was clueless about what to do, and so he branched onto other fields, mainly entertainment. He
Archie!
joined a TV
Bruh.
reality show about dancing. He tried to start his own musical career with a music video, and he's currently on TikTok. He also has an Instagram account where he just does dumb shit, and I'm not sure, but
We'll
he
look
probably
through
does sponsor
his
things like
Instagram in a
restaurants
moment.
and stuff. Radzi, in my opinion, is not someone worth remembering aside from what he represents. He is the embodiment of Italian corruption during Berlusconi's government. It's kind of sad, though unlike many dodgy politicians before and after him, ever since his first controversy, he never denied being a piece of shit, and he actually celebrated it, and many admire his honesty. Don't look at me. I'm just happy he's on Instagram and not in my ballot. Thank you for watching.
So, oh, I thought I actually had unlisted this. So basically, yeah, let's have a look at his, Instagram. Cause is something. So the main thing I want to show you is actually this. Right. Dear friends, good morning to all. Alchi Jesus. Today it's a very special day because I became a diplomatic correspondent for the International Organization for Diplomatic Relations. I thank my friend Lex Simara for believing in me, and I wanted to share this moment with all of you. Basically, this motherfucker, right? He went from being a corrupt politician to a TikToker, and now is an official diplomat. Because he was one of the few senators in Italy, one of the few politicians really, to actually go to North Korea and attempt, you know, to create diplomatic relations with the country. So, yeah, let's just watch a TikTok right now.
No estoy bueno, no, estoy buenísimo. Y sí, aperísimo. Pa' lo bueno, soy malísimo. Y pa' lo malo, soy buenísimo.
Yep. That's the situation. So, yeah. You guys want to go for the next one? It's not going to be as exciting. But, Radzi, yeah, perhaps I should make a part 2.
Sono anche stemio, io non faccio brutto, ma col trattore in tangenziale andiamo a comandare sui selfie mossi.
But yeah, guys, if you, oh no, I wonder who's filming him. That's yeah. Guys, if you wanna see more, go check out his Instagram. Let's go to the next one. Maria Stella Gelmini. She's interesting.
Do you remember Margaret Thatcher? She's the neoliberal English Prime Minister that managed to make everyone in her country hate her by cutting on welfare. Now, here's Maria Stella Gelmini, the Italian Margaret Thatcher. Welcome to the second episode of Italian Politician of the Week. I'm your host, Ipernick the Great, though that's debatable. Last week's politician was a crook with no dignity, but today we have someone who is actually competent. Or is she? Let's find out.
I stopped doing that thing in which I said, the previous episode, I should do that more.
After she got her degree in law, she worked her way up until 2006, when she was elected in the Chamber of Deputies in Berlusconi's party, Popolo della Libertà, which later became Forza Italia. She is still in parliament, and she is currently the party representative in the Chamber of Deputies, which is far from unimpressive. In fact, she is one of the most loyal members of Forza Italia. Now, where would Gelmini be in the political compass? Gelmini, as I said before, has a lot in common with Thatcher.
Yo, hold up. July the 17th? Yo, this video is almost a year old, and a lot has changed since then. Fuck.
Conservative social values, but they also want a freer market and to lower government spending. She's one of the few politicians in Italy that come even close to neoliberalism. Others with similar views can be Mario Calenda, Mara Carfagna,
Carlo Calenda.
However, what she's most famous for is her role of Minister of Education from 2008 to 2011. During her term, she made some very heavy cuts to the budget of public schools, especially elementary schools. She fired 87,000 teachers as well as 44,000 technicians. Then she increased work hours for teachers from 27 hours per week to 32. The reason she gave for doing this was to make the school more cost-effective. 97% of the education funds were spent on salaries. By removing part of the workforce, she had more money to improve the equipment on schools. In fact, many buildings were completely...
Okay, so the French Kiwi. Yes, basically what we're doing is watching the old videos and then I give you my commentary and then I give you updates on each politician. This is a year-old video, so I'm gonna give you updates and stuff on what she's been up to. And like you missed the Rudzi one, which was rich. This one is not as exciting, but I hope you enjoy.
Renovated or expanded, and schools could finally afford smart boards and computers. On a darker note, more than 120,000 people lost their jobs, and when confronted with this, Gelmini would just reply, schools are too educated not to fix unemployment. Gelmini also did some changes on the way teachers were selected. She supposedly made it more meritocratic, in order to hire even more competent people. Many praised Gelmini, claiming that her plan to make schools more cost-effective was actually a success. I could not find any data to support this directly, but here's a survey. Here it shows the perceived preparation of teachers and professors by certain people, who are divided by profession. 60% of the people who answered this survey think that professors know what they're doing. 74% of the students who voted think their teachers are doing a good job, which looks pretty good for Gelmini. Though when it comes to the question, what do you think is the biggest problem in the education system, most people said that the subjects were outdated, while others said the school was too underfunded. Both are not very nice things. In fact, Italy is one of the countries to invest the least on education and research. Gelmini tried to...
Level up. My grandma calls her facci sconcertate. It's like the concerned face. Don't know how to translate. Wouldn't the concerned face
programs in order to make them focus more on certain subjects rather than others, but many agree that it actually sucked since it was too big and the opposite of innovative. At the time, a lot of people went out to protest on the streets, both for the bad school program, but also because he fired thousands of people without asking workers' unions. Gelmini is a bit of a controversial figure today for the people who follow politics. Personally, I think she succeeded in making the schools more cost-effective.
Ah, fasci sconcertata. Fasci, that's like, oh no, wait.
I went to school in Italy throughout her term as minister, and I remember in 2009 that a good
let's skip this part, it's cringe.
Would probably
would
have updated the program to make it less out of touch with reality. But here's the twist. The survey I showed you was done way after 2011, so if the problems are still the same after 8 years, then I don't think it's Gelmini's fault. Rather, it's the fault of whoever came after her. The only minister I would not point fingers at would probably be Lucia Azzolina, our current minister, because it's a bit hard to reform.
Ooh, sconcerto, shit. French Kiwi, even though you said duck, you still got censored and I had to allow your comment in. Sconcerto, okay, vomit, I did not know that. So, I mean, it's Calabrian dialect, I did not know that.
The school system during a global pandemic, but that's another story for another day. Here's the conclusion. It's hard to admit it, but us Italians are not very good with money. We just ask more funds when in reality we don't really know how to spend them.
Yeah, this video is cringe. So the message is pretty much the same, right? The school system back then was 95% of it was the budget was spent on salaries for teachers, and that's Sicilian. Oh, I'm sorry, but I mean it's very close anyway. Then I got you mixed up with someone else. I know. Here, come to the shoulder. Come to the shoulder. Be a good boy. Okay, you're on the bed. Why don't you come to the shoulder? Anyway, so yeah, 95% of the budget was spent on salaries. That's not good enough. That's not cost effective. She made schools cost effective while not using any funds, right? And that's not exactly perfect because the school deserves more funds. That's because it's very much neglected. Most of the money in Italy goes actually to a good portion of the public spending actually goes to pensions and old age pensions. I mean, that's just wrong because the future, honestly, is more valuable. Um, but like Gelmini, basically, she reorganized it in a way that made it more efficient. If it wasn't for the fact that she included a bunch of shit that actually made the school program outdated and more cheap, and that's not exactly great. So, let's go to the next one. I think I'm gonna try and put Alchi back in the cage. Put him to sleep.
Welcome back, guys, to the
I'm
third
gonna listen.
episode of Italian Politician of the Week. I'm your host, Ipernick. So far in July, we talked about a living meme and a Karen. It has been a wild ride so far, and I hope you agree. Today we're talking about the current Minister of Justice, Alfonso Bonafede. There is a lot to say about Bonafede, his career in the Five-Star Movement, his views, and most importantly, his contributions as a Minister of Justice. What is most striking about Bonafede is his appearance. He doesn't look like the face of Italian justice, more like the face of a GameStop employee trying to hype you up for the release of the next Animal Crossing. But don't make my same mistake, there's a lot more about Bonafede than meets the eye. Let's get into it. Let's start off with his titles. Bonafede was born in Sicily in 1976 and graduated in law in 1995.
I forgot about the Animal Crossing joke I made.
He also got a master and a PhD at the University of Pisa before becoming a lawyer in 2006. He, however, had other plans.
So so did the school suffer because of it? I mean, the school themselves not. The people who got fired did, and the students. Basically, what came out of it is that the teachers were more, they actually, in order to get hired, it was a bit harder. So that forced them to actually be more educated, and so the teachers actually came out very well, but the program, what they were forced to teach, in a way, actually kind of undervalued their skills, right? And the students, they also came out not as satisfied, and for that reason, Gelmini is not very appreciated. So if she's supposedly Italian's Margaret Thatcher, does that mean that Italy is the equivalent of Scotland? Well, that simile, that analogy is also wrong. I don't think she's the Italian Margaret Thatcher. She followed Thatcherian methods to some extent, but I don't think she's the Italian Margaret Thatcher. Computers in my school still run with Windows 7. Yeah, and when did Windows 7 when was Windows 7 made? I think it was a bit later, a bit after Gelmini. I'm actually not sure. Windows 7. When did it come out? Yeah, 2011. Oh, 2009, 2011. Yep. If you have computers, it's all thanks to Gelmini. And if the schools are shit, Gelmini is probably one of the last people you should blame. Though she's not the best. She could have done a lot more, but again, it's just 3 years. Still running Windows 7. I also heard from friends that the university system makes it harder for domestic public Italian students to get into good universities in comparison to foreign. Okay, they stopped making it. Yeah. 2014. Yeah, it makes sense to the thing of 2014. As for universities, not really. Actually, she made a bunch of very underrated university reforms that actually helped research. I don't know about I don't know about, you know, getting into university. Really, like, as you know, for my personal experience, most university courses, bachelors especially, they don't have like a fixed number, right? As many people as all the people that apply usually get in. Maybe the only thing that might stop some students from getting in, if they are like average universities, not like the big prestigious ones, is the money. But even then, that's a problem. So, um, let's go on with Bona Fide.
That same year, he joined the Five Star Movement and in 2009 ran for mayor of Florence. He only got like 2% of the votes, but his candidacy made him relatively popular in the party, to the point that he was elected to the Chamber of Deputies in 2013. Then, when Conte became Prime Minister in 2018, he was put in charge of the Ministry of Justice. Bonafede is a bit of a black sheep among the few well-educated Five-Star members. First of all, he has a PhD, which is unheard of, but also
He's
he
still
has
dumb,
very
though.
strong views on law and order. They are authoritarian, to say the least. He's a follower of justicialism, which is a way of interpreting the law that undermines the civil rights and the liberal concept of innocent until proven guilty. One of the first things he did when he took office was to propose the law Spaccacorrotti, which means crook smasher in Italian.
Spazza corrotti, not spacca. Spazza, like broom them away. I guess, like, you know, if you're using like a broom to push them away, like kind of like what you do with like dust when you're wiping the floor. It's not as exciting, but
It sounds stupid, but in English it sounds great. Essentially what the law did was to extend prison sentences to people arrested for corruption or being associated with organized crime. This was done in response to the previous laws made by the Democratic Party a few years before, which had loosened up sentences for people who committed minor crimes in order to make prisons less crowded.
remember about
Bonafide
that,
doesn't
but
have a lot of
probably I
faith
did
on
that.
rehabilitation, so it'd rather fix the problem by making punishments worse. This may please
Yeah, this is
some
actually
people
a
if
lot more
criminals
accurate
are
than I
getting
remember.
harsher sentences than expected, but keep in mind that our justice system, even though it's pretty good in my opinion, it is not perfect.
It's not good at all. It's fucking awful. Too long waiting times. Absolutely not. It actually brings us to the justice reform that Bonafide wanted to pass, and basically what it did to try and speed up the justice system is actually kind of like make it like it actually cuts on a bunch of processes that actually help the defendants, because his idea is that, oh yeah, if you're accused of something, that means you're guilty, so might as well speed up the process and get you to jail faster. That's his idea, but in reality what should be done, in my opinion, is not really a reform of the justice system. Before doing that, we should reform the jail system, because it's fucked up. And after that, we can think about it.
And sometimes the wrong people are punished. Furthermore, the problem with overcrowded prisons is no scoffing matter, and Bonafide was heavily criticized for his laws when many criminals attempted to break out of their prisons during the corona outbreak, not to mention the conditions they were in, which
they didn't really break out. They were like, what's the word? Protesting, because they were put in shitty conditions.
weren't the best, I imagine. Bonafide did quite a lot in the 2 years he was in office.
Yeah, Buongiorno, not Buongiorno, my bad. She's a really interesting person that actually I tried to put in a poll a bunch of times. She's a celebrity, the one in the middle. Yeah.
He worked with Minister Buongiorno to pass a law against violence on women and children, and updated the Orlando law, a law that undermined the privacy of a person when not directly under investigation. In his words, the approved reform enhances wiretapping as an investigation tool, but at the same time guarantees the privacy of the citizens. To me, they sound like conflicting statements, but sure, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Bonafide seems a very capable man. In fact,
See you later, Samuele.
even considered him as prime minister, though they eventually chose Conte instead due to his centrist political opinions. Bonafede is currently the representative of Five Star in the government, and he is very well respected in his party. Unlike many of his colleagues, he's far from incompetent, even though I disagree with many.
He is very much incompetent. My views on him have changed more than any other politician I talked about lately. Weed. What the fuck? Just says. Did somebody just say Florence? Yeah. Tamaklov's Florence. The Paul Joseph Watsons of Italy. Nova
Any
Burbista.
of his views and interpretations of the law, I appreciate his professionalism, and I'm happy for not having to make fun of him for his intellect. This doesn't mean I won't poke fun of him for other reasons.
Bruh. Look at this dude.
Yeah, the memes.
Wait till you see the. No, 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 no.
I think that's it. I will see you next Friday.
Bonafede. Bruh, what the fuck? Why did I put the hashtag me too? That's awful. Why the fuck did I do that? Boldrini. Alright.
Hello and welcome to the 4th episode of Italian Politician of the Week. I'm Ipernick, as usual.
Is this the first time I actually count the number of
The
episodes?
last episode of July, and what a month that was. Today we're closing off with Laura Boldrini, a former UN representative turned politician. She's arguably one of the most famous progressives here in Italy, but also one of the most hated, and not for her political positions. Before I get into that,
Not
I
only for
have to
that.
remind you to like and subscribe
He
if
asked
you're
his
new. Also be sure to
boyfriend if he's
comment
able to
whatever
enter
you're thinking about
politics.
Boldrini, or if you have something more to add, or a politician to suggest. I love to hear your comments, so right away. That said,
That
let's
goes with
start.
everybody. If you
Boldrini
guys
was
have
born in Macerata,
some Italian
Marche,
politician
back in
you wanna
1961. After she graduated law at
you wanna
Sapienza
recommend, go
University
ahead.
in Rome in 1985, she started her career in communication and diplomacy. She worked at RAI, the Italian public broadcasting station, until she became the Italian representative of the World Food Program in 1993, and from 1998 to 2012 she was the spokesperson for Southern Europe in the High Commissioner for Refugees in the United Nations. Then in 2013 she ran for the Chamber of Deputies in a small Green Party, which was in the same coalition as the Democratic Party. She won,
Why do I
however,
speak
due
so
to
fast?
her background and fame. The Democratic Party chose her to be head of the Chamber of Deputies. She barely won the title, only getting 327 votes
she's
out
very
of the
progressive. She's
618.
done a lot of work
Though many
abroad.
celebrated her victory anyway, since she's only the third woman in Italian history to cover that role of president of the Chamber of Deputies. Now,
Yeah.
where would Boldrini be in the political compass? Well, she is very progressive. She's also liberal when it comes to social
That's a
standards.
bit too
Furthermore, she's a
farther.
strong-
I would put her probably here or something. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, you guys can see my cursor. I would probably put her here or something. Here is a bit too much. But the thing about her is that sure, she's very liberal socially, pro-immigration, pro-abortion, stuff like that. She knows the struggle of immigration because she knows what's going on, right? You know, all these people running away, they're put in terrible conditions during their journeys, so it's kind of like she's like a Ipernick the Great, Italian Ben Shapiro. Bruh, why? Bonafede, it's the Italian Ben Shapiro. Sure, I guess. What was I saying? But yeah, she's kind of like, I mean, she's fine, honestly. I'm not as mad at her as I used to be. He said he spoke fast. Oh yeah, so yeah, I'm definitely Ben Shapiro in this case. The thing is that with old age, and she probably got super wealthy as well over the years. She's gotten out of touch with the, you know, what really is going on, and she kind of like her ideas on politics is basically that she needs to fight for civil rights of the less fortunate, and the less fortunate that are most important to her right now, and the ones that she thinks are the least fortunate are the immigrants, and so she puts the Italians aside, right? But the fact is that poor Italians, they have their own problems, but you get like other politicians telling them that the reason why they have their own problems is because of immigrants, right? And so they all these lower class Italians, or the people that are actually struggling right now, they think that they're struggling because of the immigrants, and they go after the politicians that actually go out of their way to protect the immigrants. And for that reason, we see Boldrini so much being basically harassed
Strong
and
advocate
shit.
for feminism, LGBT marriage, and adoptions. She's pro-abortion, pro-immigration, and has very green economic policies. She's very similar to Alexandria Cortez in many regards. She even joined the Democratic
Boldrini is smarter than Cortez, though. She knows stuff about economics.
Socialist Party for a few years called Liberi e Uguali, Free and Equal, though it disbanded in 2018 for a series of reasons that I just don't
It didn't really disband. It's a bit complicated.
have time to get into today. To put it briefly, the Democratic Party became more progressive,
Yeah, I
so
love
many
this.
left, and also they got awful results at the last election. So yeah. Now all of you may be wondering, where's the beef? Well, to the surprise of everyone who voted
Where's
for
the
her and even
beef?
used to like her, Laura Boldrini turned out a very unprofessional, dishonest, arrogant, biased, and entitled weasel when in the role of president of Chamber
Yeah,
of
she's very
Deputies. First of all,
entitled.
she would often interrupt or silence members of the Chamber of
But to be fair, you would be annoyed and entitled too if you had to deal with the five-star movement all the fucking time, accusing you of bullshit.
Deputies she didn't agree with while they were in the middle of speaking. Once she even
But
went
still,
as
it's,
far as to jump
it's
over
very
passages
unprofessional
of the
of her.
legislative process just
Just
because she
turn
really
off the
wanted a law
mics.
to pass. She's also known for wasting government money on non-essential
AOC,
things,
well,
such as giving access to top-tier
I
private
don't know much
hospitals,
about
spa
American
centers,
politics.
hotels,
I
and
can see
whatever
that
fancy
she's
stuff you
not
can
very.
imagine
She
to
doesn't really know
deputies
what
and their
socialism
partners at
does.
taxpayers'
She has a
expense.
very-
One time she went to South Africa.
She has a very like sugar-coated view on things when it comes to politics. Although she's very skilled in speaking and using her platforms and stuff, so I can respect her for that. But like, I don't want to say much more because I am not like aware of like I don't specialize in American politics, right? So I don't think it's fair that I actually comment on what she's doing.
Africa for Nelson Mandela's funeral, bringing her guards, friends, and boyfriend with her in a private jet. While she wasn't even invited. All this, of course, she didn't spend a cent. We paid for it, and it was a luxury vacation. When
Right.
questioned about her way of handling money, she either ignored the journalist or called security. As you can imagine, she was not very appreciated by the public, to the point that she got a lot of insults and death threats on a daily basis. She took advantage of this to portray herself as a
Isn't the
victim
Social
of the
Democrat
patriarchy,
or
and
the
she
Democratic
talked about
probably more a democratic socialist.
their experience in this feminist conference. In particular, she talked about how Salvini fueled the fire of hate against her. I love this clip mostly because it's in English and I don't need to add subtitles.
The other leader, Salvini, the guy today risked to become the Italian prime minister, in a political rally, he took an inflexible,
Inflatable doll.
inflatable doll, an inflatable
Like a
doll, and he
sex
said,
doll.
sex doll, and he said, here we are. This is the president of the Camera dei Deputati, of the Chamber of Deputies. So, and other members of his party said,
Yeah, she's so
we have
pretentious.
to send
but she's in the
rapists
right now.
to
She's
her
like,
house in order
like,
to
what the
make her
fuck,
smile
Salvini is-
again.
Salvini is a
Institutional
fucking
figures,
retard.
And this guy Salvini, for years, he wanted to link my name to crimes committed by migrants. Every time a migrant committed a crime, he put the hashtag Boldrini's resources. Every time there was a crime or a rape committed by migrants, hashtag Boldrini's resources. So this meant for
It's
me,
like harassment, I feel like.
thousands of threats and violence. And one day I received a bullet by mail.
Private jet should be banned. We already pollute enough as it is. I mean, private jets are actually very few. I don't think they really do that much of an impact, to be honest.
And that day, I realized that we were entering into a new phase of violence, you know. So, and also my daughter was threatened, and she had to change her name on Facebook. So imagine if you deal with certain
Who the
issues
fuck
and
uses
you are a
Facebook
woman,
anymore?
you have to take into account such a treatment. And I have to tell you, if I had been a man, I would not have been treated like this. I'm sure.
I disagree with her just in the last 5 seconds when she says, if I was a man, absolutely not. But yeah, that's the inflatable doll. That's really fucked up. Fuck you, Salvini.
And as usual, it went too far. Though I have to say Boldrini deserves most of the hate she gets. Today she is no longer president of the Chamber of Deputies, and
That's like an interesting thing I said, and I feel like that's kind of wrong, and it could be taken out of context. Nobody deserves to be like the hate, as in like when somebody, like when people call her out for her bullshit. That's what I think she deserves, but she doesn't deserve to be called a sex doll, and to deserve and to receive bullets through mail. That's fucked up. But actually, since then, she let's see if I actually can show you. Yeah, she was sick actually. She is there a picture of her like recovering? Yeah, this is yeah, let's hold up. Her getting a vaccine. But yeah, she was sick, right? And she was she went to the hospital and she recovered. She had like to make an operation and shit. Food busters, what the fuck? But yeah, she's like I don't dislike her as much as I used to. She's okay. Like a bit pretentious. She's rich, privileged, and all. Yeah, there we go. That's the picture I was looking for. Yeah, like you see, she had like she was sick and she recovered. Good for her. Yeah, she's fine now. This one is gonna be a bit boring. This is like about Antonio De Caro, the mayor of Bari. That people like him a lot. Oh, that's a lot of likes.
hello and welcome to the 5th episode of Italian
you guys are
Politician
enjoying
of
it.
the Week. I'm your host, Ipernick. To start the new month, I want to talk about the mayor of Bari, Antonio De Caro, who according to most opinion polls is the most
What's
loved
going
mayor
on
in
with the
Italy.
audio
In fact, his
shit?
approval rating often hits the 70%, which is impressive. As usual, remember to like, subscribe and comment if you have suggestions or anything to add. If you
1
like
year ago
memes
I
and
had
shit
like
posting online, consider joining the Discord.
half
Link
the amount
is in
of
the description.
subscribers.
That said, let's talk about De Caro's career and contributions to the
subs
city
doubled
of Bari.
since
Antonio De
the
Caro
7th
was
of
born
August.
in Bari in 1970 and graduated from the Polytechnic of Bari with a degree on engineering and transportation. After some years of experience of working in the Apulian aqueducts in 2004, he was nominated assessor in charge of infrastructure for the Commune of Bari. The mayor at the time was Michele Emiliano, who is currently the president of Apulia and close friend of De Caro. In 2013, Antonio De Caro was elected in the Chamber of Deputies, but he left just 1 year later because
guys
he
can hear
decided
it,
to run
right?
for
You guys can
mayor
hear the
of his
video.
own town instead, where he won with very high percentages. He is currently on his second term as mayor. Now, where would De Caro be in the political compass? Well, he's part of the Democratic Party, and ever since he joined politics in 2004,
He's probably a
he
little bit more
advocated for the
centrist, but
reduction
sure.
of CO2 emissions. He renovated many main streets and areas of the town center to be more bike-friendly by adding biking lanes and parking spots for them. He also installed many air purifiers around the city and limited the entrance of big vehicles to certain areas to limit air and noise pollution. Finally, he built parks and renovated many public buildings for housing homeless people and other unlucky citizens. De Caro puts a lot of effort in keeping the city clean and safe in order to make it look welcoming, organized, pretty and modern. I've been in Bari a couple of times and I have always perceived it as a very bright and clean place to be. However, according to the most recent polls, it's still very much unsafe when it comes to criminality, and the Caro is often criticized for not doing enough to stop it. For example, just a few weeks ago, De Caro made hundreds of scooters, electric scooters, available for renting around the city center. This was done to promote electric vehicles.
De Caro is a cool dude, but it's kind of boring.
Them were stolen, which doesn't look very nice. Also, corruption and organized crime is still a big problem in Bari, no matter how pretty the city is. De Caro has become an internet sensation during the corona pandemic. During phase 1, he would go around town telling the people not respecting safety distance to go home. This was done with a lot of dedication in class, which was highly appreciated by the good citizens that were staying home. He also cried at the sight of empty streets in the center, showing that he really cares for the city. A lot of mayors around Italy took inspiration from De Caro and took to the streets as well, with varying success. However, many criticized De Caro for being harsh towards random people going for a walk, but not towards mafiosos. To many people, it seems that Antonio De Caro is not doing enough to reduce crime in the city. Personally, I think that De Caro is trying to reduce crime by improving the looks, hygiene, and services in the city, essentially making it a better place to live. I don't know if that is going to work, but it might lure some criminals into abandoning crime in an effort to start anew, but I don't blame some citizens for wanting him to take a more direct approach. What do you think he should do to make Bari a better place? Let me know in the comments below and in the survey in the community section. Have a nice day and take care.
So you see, De Caro, basically what he's doing is that he's trying to improve the quality of life. So maybe that will attract some foreign investors, and if they attract, foreign investors, they bring money and stuff. Modern problems require boring solutions. Yeah.
Hello guys and welcome to the 6th episode of Italian Politician of the Week. I'm Ipernick, the same as last time and the time before. As the second politician of August, we're talking about another mayor, who is almost as loved as Antonio De Caro, the one we talked about last week, though for entirely different reasons. His name is Cateno De Luca, mayor of Messina, Sicily. This one is an odd one, so be sure to stick around and like and subscribe if you're new. Also,
this one is probably one of my favorite episodes of season 1.
What you think about him in the comments below, in the poll in the community section, or in my Discord. Now, let's get right into it. Cateno De Luca was born in Fiume di Nisi, a small town near Messina. He graduated in law at the University of Messina and was elected mayor of his hometown in 2003. In 2006, he also became member of the Sicilian Regional Council.
For a moment,
At
5.
first, I was surprised because I didn't know
in my opinion, any leader who tackles climate change is a good
keep
block
in mind that
book.
Sicily is an autonomous region in Italy, so they probably have a different law for it or something. He was mayor of Fiume di Nisi until 2011,
sustainable
until
shit,
he was accused and arrested
tackle
for
climate
tax
change. It's a
evasion
big,
and mishandling of government funds. He was, however, found innocent of the charges and went on to be elected mayor of another town called Santa Teresa di Riva until in 2017, when he was arrested again for the same reason and found innocent once again. Nevertheless, guess what? In 2018, he ran for mayor of Messina, one of the biggest cities in Sicily, and won. Will the cycle make a comeback in a few years? Only time will tell. Now,
Only
where
time
would
will
De Luca
tell.
be in the political compass? Well, he is a centrist nonetheless, however, he's far from uncontroversial. He's a secessionist.
Look at this motherfucker.
And religious. He also has
Oh, you
a
guys
small
wait,
party
because the best part is
associated
coming
with
in a
the
moment.
Centro, a Christian centrist party. He is
Yeah,
currently
he's a
in the
Christian
right-wing
Democrat.
coalition with Salvini, Meloni, and Berlusconi. Even though he is in the authoritarian left quadrant, he is still part of the opposition. Salvini even asked him if he would like tried to join
The fuck
Lega,
is
but he
recording this?
declined, saying that now it was not the time. De
Look
Luca
at
was
him,
very
he's
famous
short.
in Sicily, not only for his criminal records, but also for his weird
Oh,
approach
this is like a
to
Donald Trump
politics.
pose.
The picture I'm showing
Oh.
on screen right now was made in
It just
progress,
got
so
super
no
hot all
one
in a
really
sudden.
remembers.
Shit.
It's kind of weird. I think it was
Mayor
about
of Humor,
left
remember
wing
him as
people
Minister
being
of
bad or
Calabria,
something.
remember him
People
trying
love
to
him
convince
though,
me
somehow.
that
He has a
Vice President was
65% of
unfazed.
approval in Messina. Don't ask. Cateno became famous around Italy because of his drones during quarantine. In fact, De Luca was so
Minister of
invested by the
Calabria.
idea of punishing people leaving their homes
Yo,
that he
we got
decided
the
to
Minister
buy
of
an army
Calabria in the
drones with
chat.
camera and
Everybody say hi
speakers
to the
that would
Minister of
fly
Calabria.
around town and play his voice recordings. I already talked about this in an old video.
Yo, he's gonna
so I'll
drone.
just play the clip
He's
again.
gonna.
Che controllo tutti i
He's
villaggi.
gonna bomb Syria
Non
with
vedo
those
morti.
drones.
Droni
Shit.
ovunque, ovunque. Con la mia voce come di becca vi dirà che cazzo, dove cazzo vai? Torna a casa. Non vi posso impedire formalmente di uscire da casa? Bene, vi impedisco di passare il pubblico. Non si esce. Questo è l'ordine del sindaco De Luca e basta.
Shitty, shitty fucking quality. Yo, did they film this on a pregnancy test or something? Bruh. If you really live in Karachi, one of the biggest cities in Sicily, how many inhabitants? Over one? I can tell you right now, I'm not sure. Messina abitanti. It's abitanti, that's inhabitants. Yeah, pretty big. You see Catania and Siracusa, they are like yeah, Messina is pretty big because it's like also, you see, it's very close to Calabria. It's like it links Sicily with the rest of, what the fuck, there's a city called Sparta. The fuck? Yo, the fuck? I had no idea, bruh. Where the fuck is Samuele? He's Sicilian. He can tell us if why the fuck there's a Sparta over here. What the fuck is Sparta doing there? Shit. But you see, it's very close to Calabria, so it links the old city, the old island with the. I was joking. I was basically saying, haha, Sicily has a small population. No, actually, Sicily is huge. Sicily actually has a lot of people living in it. A lot of people, trust me. 5 million. I mean, it's not as much as I thought, but still a lot of people. That's more than in Denmark. Only 10 cities a population of 5 and
De
the rest
Luca
of the
is
population is
certainly an
people with
eccentric
traffic
guy,
from North
but ever since
Macedonia.
Easter, he's
Yeah.
started to slow down. Why do you ask? Well, you see, his father is very sick.
Oh,
He
his
has
father
not
is very
been
sick.
very active lately as mayor. Personally, I think he's going through a lot, and I feel a bit bad for him. Some members of the city council complained about his absence and accused them of faking the whole thing. To which De Luca replied with a video saying that he found these people disgusting for weaponizing his dad's condition. You have to
Yeah.
admit that 2 months is a long break for a mayor, so
It
I
is.
hope that he can snap out of it and get back to work as soon as possible. That's all for me. What do you think about De Luca? Be sure to let me know. See you next
De
time.
Luca. Okay, last one, we got Giorgia Meloni, and then we can call it a day. Things that Catena De Luca has been up to, not much. Not much, actually. I haven't really heard from him. He's still very angry
Hello
and
and welcome to the 7th episode
always
of
pushing
Italian
people to
Politician
stay
of
at
the
home
Week.
and shit.
I'm Ipernick, and today we're talking about one of the most influential and recognized Italian politicians, Giorgia Meloni, former Minister of Youth
Shit.
and current party leader of Brothers of Italy. As usual, remember to like,
before she had like
subscribe, comment,
when I
and
made
join the
this, she had
Discord
low
if you
numbers
want to
in the
show
polls,
support
but
for
now
my
she's
work.
fucking
Meloni was
huge.
born in 1977 in Rome. She was an activist, representative,
She's
and
one of the
journalist
most
for Youth Front,
powerful
a
politicians
nationalist,
right now, and
youth
she's probably gonna be
organization.
prime
She was
minister
discovered by
in like
Berlusconi,
2
who
years.
invited her to join his party and nominated her later Minister of Youth from 2008 to 2011. She also became head of Berlusconi's own youth party. Then in 2012, she departed from Popolo della Libertà, which was once Forza Italia, together with some of its more radical members, such as Ignazio La Russa and Fabio
Ignazio
Rampelli,
La
to make her own
Russa,
party, Fratelli
shit.
d'Italia, Brothers of Italy, which lives on to this day and is one of the fastest growing parties in Italy. Before I give you more details about Meloni, it is
I
important
don't know how
for me
much she
to
was
point out
getting
where
at the
she is
time,
in the
like 1 year
political
ago,
compass.
but
She is a
it's pretty
national
fucking good.
conservative today. She's
Look
against
at a
gay
fucking
marriage,
melon.
illegal immigrations, and
Yeah, because Meloni in Italian actually means melons. The more you know. Giorgia Meloni, I remember her. She's third boss from Antonio Rising 3.
Refuses gender theory. She's authoritarian and also would like to implement a presidential or at least a mixed system of government rather than a parliamentary
Feminist
system like the
kinda,
one
yeah,
we have today. Not to
kinda.
mention her Euroscepticism. Before joining Berlusconi, she was even more radical since she
She's
was
really
very
good friends with
apologetic to fascism,
motherfucking
but she has become
Orban.
more
You
moderate
got
ever
the
since. Many people of the left call her fascist
Antonio
and
Rising
accuse
meme
her
I
of
made,
being too
absolutely.
authoritarian. While I think that among all mainstream politicians in Italy, she has the most in common with Mussolini, I do not think she is fascist. Regardless
she
of her
isn't.
ideology,
Although-
she seems like a rising star in Italian politics, and I wouldn't be surprised if she won the elections one day. She has a nearly perfect campaigning strategy. She pays a lot of
Yeah.
attention to the young voters. In fact, there are sponsored youth groups all over Italy called
Yep.
Gioventù Nazionale.
I have
that
a friend
promote a
that was
sense of
like the
community
president
among
of
young
one of
people,
those.
as well as spreading Meloni's message. She also
Shit.
targets her campaign to business owners who are sick and tired of being constantly subjected to higher taxes every year by parties like Five Star who just want to expand the welfare system. She has also shown interest towards young people's media like comics, movies, video games, and most hilariously anime, as well as memes most
Shit.
recently. Unlike
Oh, I'm
Salvini,
gonna
who
show you
insults people
something
making
after
fun
this.
of him,
Does
Meloni
that mean she has
encourages the
some big
creative
melons,
expression
if you
and
know
even
what I
shares
mean?
fan art and
I
memes
mean,
on
I
her
think she's
Facebook and
allergic.
Instagram, which is very admirable if you ask me. Meloni is
Kind of a
currently at
shame.
around 15% of the votes. Meanwhile, Salvini fell from 37 to 25 in
Yo,
less
yo,
than
what-
her
what-
Facebook
what?
and
Hold up.
Instagram, which is very admirable if you ask me. Meloni is currently at around 15% of the votes.
15%,
Meanwhile,
now she's
Salvini
at
fell
20.
from 37 to 25 in less than a year. Many look
Yeah.
at this growth with concern, since they are afraid that these youth groups are indoctrinating young people. And I'm not going to lie, I was also a bit creeped out. However, according to a relatively recent Euromedia poll, Brothers of Italy, which
Yeah,
has a very young voter base, resulted the most sensible towards gay rights, with a staggering 67% of
this
gay
one is a
friendly
very
voters.
odd,
The way I interpret this is that
poll,
the
I
youth
don't know
is
why.
no less progressive here in Italy than in the rest of Europe, and it will take a lot more
I think they're
than
very
Giorgia Meloni to
defensive,
change
as
it.
in
She
like
knows it, and for that
they
reason,
know
I
that what
think
they're
she
doing
hasn't
kind of
gone
affects
anti-mask or
negatively
anti-climate
gay
change
people.
yet. I fear the day when the
And so
majority
they
of
say,
people
no,
in
no,
this
we're not
country will
actually,
think
we're
alike
not
Meloni,
actually
though it
homophobic.
seems unlikely.
But-
And on the other hand, I think that if more Italian politicians defended the constitution like Meloni does, Italy would be a lot better than what it is today. I admire her approach to politics, though I hope her vision of Italy doesn't become a reality. What do you think about Meloni?
Yeah,
Let me know
okay.
in the comments below. See you next time.
Yeah, okay. So this was season 1, everybody. I don't know. Okay, let me show you the fucking meme. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, let's go in general. There we go. Look at this motherfucker. Look at him. I'm like, bruh, hold up. Can I go on open original? Yeah. See, look at this, Antonio Rising. I'm making this the thumbnail actually. Can I do that? Yeah, let's make this the thumbnail. Yeah, you guys should see it. Alright, I think that's it. So basically, Giorgia Meloni right now, she's at 20%. She basically is the only party, major party, that hasn't joined Draghi's cabinet, and so she's pushing a lot. She's being like the parliamentary opposition right now, and for that reason, she's like gaining a lot of popularity. All the dissent from whatever Draghi is doing, Meloni is getting it. So at the next elections, probably she's probably gonna get a good portion of the votes. I don't know if that's worse than the five-star movement. Probably not. Maybe not in like the realm of civil rights and shit, because at least the five-star movement is not against, you know, passing the Zan law, which is basically this law to protect you know, protect the gay people from getting assaulted and shit. And so yeah, it's kind of like I think they're gonna pass it, and then by the time that Meloni comes to power, she's not gonna try and, you know, and make it kind of delete that law, because that's kind of a waste of time. But she's gonna do a lot of shit to actually make sure that, you know, women can't do abortions, and immigrants have to stay home or something like that. She's gonna be a bit authoritarian when eventually she comes to power, but I don't think it's gonna be that bad, because people that actually are allied to with her are like Forza Italia, and they're like liberals and shit. A lot about homosexuals and stuff goes against the rights of the Catholics. Yeah, I don't give a shit. What kind of rights of Catholics? They can do whatever the fuck they want. Like, are Catholics is that part of their beliefs that they need to beat up homosexuals? No, not at all. Not at all. Absolutely not. Maybe it goes against the Catholic Church, but again, this country is atheist. They don't give a shit. We are independent from. That's a lot of comments. Also, most of the Catholics don't give a shit, because most Catholics, they don't go out of their way to teach their bullshit, their propaganda. Gender Day, yeah, and it's gonna be like one here, and it's not gonna be like to spread awareness about gender. It's gonna be about, you know, spreading awareness about gender equality. What do you have against that? They'll force it to Catholic schools, not necessarily. Does that law go against their rights? And also, like, whatever, like, gender equality, man. And isn't it part of the Catholic doctrine to, what's the word? Avoid prejudice and to respect everybody? Ipernick, can you say that you're part? Maybe another time. Because the Catholics that doesn't want homosexuality, just don't want it. You can't force it. That's not the point. What the law says is that you have to respect people that are not like people that follow a different. I'm gonna restart Steam. The law basically penalizes people that actually actively discriminate against people with an alternative sexual orientation. And Gender Day, which is not even a real thing, what they want to do is basically introduce to schools some kind of course that actually educates people in actually, you know, tolerating and respecting these alternative sexual identities, right? Me and the cat will respect all the sinners. Then why are you against the Zan law? Jesus. Vittorio. Since Catholic schools are independent from the state, doesn't that mean the state can't force their way on them? Mostly yes. There are a bunch of things. You know, there are some things that the private schools have to respect, a bunch of laws, but at the end of the day, it won't impact Catholic schools that much. It really won't, trust me. Gay people are gonna feel a lot more safe, and really, like, it won't affect the lives of anybody. The only people that will be affected are just the people that go out of their way to make life harder for people that are actually part of the sexual minorities. and they're gonna be and the law is gonna be a lot harsher on them, because it's just annoying gender day, and Catholics like me want like I mean, are you going to be the are you the spokesman of all the Catholics? Because I don't think most Catholics would actually agree with you. Plus, what the fuck is a Catholic? You mean Catholic, right? It's without the H. That law will make it harder for Catholics that don't want days. No, it won't. Oh, gays. Oh, okay. No, it really won't affect it. Article 4 of the Zan law says that it won't affect Catholic teachings or like religious teachings that actually are against, you know, what they are. At the end of the day, it really won't affect the people who think that gay people should stay in the closet. It really won't. It just protects them from, the people that, oh, the Bosky video is actually doing pretty well. Shit. Nice. You go out and watch it. It's really good. I'd say this live stream was a really good success. I'm sorry for the 10 people that are watching right now. It was we reached the peak just now when we're done. And I'm sorry. We finished the season 1, and yeah, that's it. Oh shit, that's a lot. God bless you, Georgia, and your work with supporting USA. Praying to protect you and your country from the harm of Soros. He's very scared of your movement. Stay strong. Okay. Soros. Okay, guys, I will, this was a success. Very soon we can do part 2 when I actually do commentary on season 2. Yeah, be sure to don't miss it out. Most of you missed the beginning, and I'm sorry, but I guess you can watch it afterwards. How long is this? Yeah, an hour. Shee! Alright, guys. I'll see you soon. I had fun. I hope you did too. And yeah, I'll see you next time. They are actually people yeah, exactly. But the difference is that before I missed Radzi. I'm sorry, Hong Kong. Hong Kong, not Hong Kong. Shit. What was it I wanted to say? Before it was just like a gaming live stream. It makes sense why people didn't enjoy it as much. But yeah, now you had more of an incentive to do so, and so yeah. Season 2 is like a lot longer, is it? Like 12 episodes or something. Share created playlist. Can I think that's like, yeah, there we go, 13, probably 12 episodes, because like the last one, it's usually like, yeah, 12 episodes. Then I'm very proud of most of these actually. I don't think I don't think they've aged that much. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for watching.